Good morning, respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, and dear participants. I am Priyanka, Mittal, Research Scholar, Department of Economics, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I welcome you all to this prestigious one-day national conference on India and Iora Pathways Ahead, organized by International Center for Indo-Pacific Studies and Department of Economics, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, in collaboration with the Indian Council of World Affairs, New Delhi. This conference, held in hybrid mode, aimed to explore the evolving relationship between India and Indian Ocean Rim Association and its implication for regional and global economic, political, and strategic landscape. We are honored to have some of the most distinguished minds with us today to share their wisdom and perspectives. This event brought together distinguished diplomats, scholars, policymakers, and experts from various fields to discuss the key challenges and opportunities in fostering stronger India-Iora ties. With an emphasis on economic cooperation, maritime security, trade relations, and geopolitical considerations, the conference facilitated in-depth discussion through technical sessions, panel discussion, and expert addresses. And it's our honor that Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Somnath would preside over the session. I would like to take permission of the chair before we proceed with the program. So let us embark on this intellectual journey together. Please stand for the Kurukshetra University's full Geet, which beautifully reflect the value and tradition of this esteemed institution.
ज्ञान भारती का हम गुरु
With a deep sense of respect and admiration, we now invite the esteemed dignitaries on stage to be honored with bouquet as a gesture of our heartfelt welcome. May I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate the Vice Admiral Pradeep Chauhan, DG, National Maritime Foundation, New Delhi. I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Vice Admiral A.K. Chawla, PVSM, AVSM, NM, VSM, ADC, Gurugram, Haryana. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor V.N. Atri to felicitate Ambassador Sanjay Panda, former Ambassador to Turkey, High Commission to Shekel Council, General San Francisco, USA. Now I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Rajiv Kumar Bhatia, IFS, Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi. Now I would like to request Professor Sanjeev Bansal to felicitate Professor S.K. Mohante, Research and Information System, New Delhi. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Ashok Kumar Chauhan to felicitate Dr. Imadul Islam, SRF, Ocean Policy Research Institute, Saska Peace Foundation, Tokyo, Japan. Now I would like to request Professor Sanjeev Bansal to felicitate Honorable Vice Chancellor, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Ashok Kumar Chauhan to felicitate Professor Sanjay Chaturvedi, Vice President, South Asian University, New Delhi. Thank you, sir. Formally commence the proceeding, I will now invite Professor V.N. Atri, Director of ICNTS, Kurukshetra University, to deliver welcome address. Professor V.N. Atri is a distinguished scholar and expert in international trade, finance and blue economy. He served as the chair in Indian Ocean Study. Okay, welcome, sir.
Let me express my gratitude to all those who have come. Due to certain factors, you see, they have been delayed, and we are committed to start the program in time because the chief guest will be joining at 10:45. So I will be cutting my welcome address, and because Ambassador Sukla, who is the High Commission of South Africa to India, he is also waiting to be online. So it is for everybody that the speakers and for Pragya Pandey will be inviting you later on after the chief guest. So basically, briefly, let me begin with expressing my gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, his vision, setting up the center, and center basically is doing wonderfully. During the last 2.5 years, we organized 3 international conferences, and this event is being organized to discuss the agenda for India. India is becoming chair of Iora in October 2025 for a period of 2 years. So here in this gathering, all the distinguished ambassadors who have come here from Delhi or the other places, they are expert in Iora matters. And Iora basically is an organization of 23 countries, 12 dialogue partners. We will be discussing what India needs to do so that Iora becomes much more vibrant. So what I decide that from time to time, I will be intervening after the session, in the session after lunch. But here basically Iora was set up on March 7, 1997. And basically it is based on the principle of open regionalism. There are 6 priority areas and 2 cross-cutting issues. The 6 priority areas have been introduced in Iora when India was the chair in 2011 to 13. Those areas basically are maritime safety and security, trade and investment facilitation, fisheries management, disaster risk management, academic science technology, then tourism and cultural exchange. And the 2 cross-cutting areas are the blue economy and women economic empowerment. The university is also joining as one of the university of the Iora University Network very soon. So in that context, basically, what are the issues? That is, basically, we need to set up the environmental protection. Environmentalism is basically declining in Iora, and I just give you some summary and then I say, if you try to define the sustainable development with the help of the sustainable development goal, then in Iora on track in 2024, all the Iora countries, they are 9.20% goal are on track. Then in social, we are 41%. In economic, we are 43%. In environment, we are 27%. In climate change, we are 39%. So this is the latest account of the Iora's performance with respect to the Sustainable Development Goal as in 2024. So now the issues basically are how to vibrate Iora so that it can achieve its objective. So the speakers will be speaking and the audience basically is requested to give some innovative ideas. Then we would also like to hear from you that what are the suggestions, what we should do so that India's impact on Iora becomes memorable. I must say that when India was the chair in 2011 to 13, India basically donated $1 million to the special fund. Again in 2019, India devoted $1 million to the special fund. So finance is a very serious issue. Iora doesn't have enough money for the project financing, and it is a project-based organization. So much was to be done, but I stop here and welcome and thanks all the guests who have come here. Now I think the next is for 5 minutes if Professor Anil Suklal can speak. So please connect with him. Thank you very much.
He has not joined. We have sent the link. We have sent the link to Professor Suklal, but he has not joined yet.
So then, next sir. Next. Dr. Pragya Pandey.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Pragya Pandey. She is a...
Anil Suklal has joined.
Okay, sir.
Ambassador Suklal has joined. Ambassador Suklal has joined.
Yeah. Professor Anil Suklal.
Now I would like to introduce Professor Anil Suklal. He is a senior diplomat and scholar and currently serves as South Africa's BRICS Sherpa, G20 Sherpa, IBSA Sherpa and Iora Sherpa. He is the Deputy General for Asia and the Middle East at the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, South Africa. With a distinguished career spanning diplomacy, academia and global governance, Dr. Suklal has previously served as South Africa's ambassador to to European Union.
Sorry for the interruption. Professor Anil Suklal is presently the High Commissioner of South Africa to India at New Delhi, and he has been very active in activating the Center for Indo-Pacific Studies. He is also the member of the advisory committee of the International Center for Indo-Pacific Studies. So, Professor Suklal, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Ambassador Suklal, please unmute yourself.
देखिए कुछ प्रॉब्लम अपने एंड पे है क्या?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
My greetings to all of you. Thank you very much for having me on the platform this morning. My greetings also to all of the distinguished guests at the high table, and especially to our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Somnath Sachdev, and Kurukshetra University for having me this morning. I know we have limited time, so let me very quickly thank you for arranging this event. I think it comes at a very appropriate time. Next week, Friday, on the 7th of March, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Iora, as we celebrate Iora Day annually on the 7th of March. But I think equally important, exactly 30 years ago, on the 25th of January, President Mandela was here in New Delhi as a guest of Prime Minister Narasimha Rao and on a state visit. And it was during this period, in discussion with Prime Minister Rao, that President Mandela put forward the idea of creating a body that brings together all of the littoral states of the Indian Ocean. Now, I think we must compliment both President Mandela and Prime Minister Rao for being very visionary, because 30 years ago, not much attention was focused on the Indian Ocean, leave alone the ocean space. But as we know today, both the Indian Ocean and the ocean space is at the center of geopolitical, geoeconomic developments, and it will continue to be the focus for the coming decades. So I think having an organization like Iora places us on a good wicket in terms of playing a role in shaping what is evolving already as a new world order. And I think the ocean space is going to be at the center of that. It is a space that unifies us, that are part of the Indian Ocean community, that bring several continents together and bring all of our countries into a common vision in terms of what we'd like to do. Now, I think it's important also, as we focus on the Iora during this conference, we have a robust reflection on both the strengths and some of the weaknesses that still exist within our organization. If one has to look at the evolution of Iora since its founding in 1997, the initial years were difficult because we didn't have the political buy-in nor the political energy from all of the role players. I think a turning point in the evolution of Iora was India's chairship, 2010-2012, that brought new energy and new focus. And the organization has transformed dramatically over the past decade and a half since that assumption of India as the chairperson. Now, this year also, India once again will assume the chairship when they host the Council of Ministers meeting later this year. And I think we have another opportunity to reflect on the journey we have traveled and to chart the path forward. Because 2 years from now, we will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the founding of Iora. And in this 30 years, we have achieved much, but I believe that we've performed satisfactorily. I don't think Iora is quite at the place we should be, given the sharp focus on the Indo-Pacific and especially the Indian Ocean. Now, some of the things I would like us to reflect on, and also I think to assist in preparing for India's chairship, is to relook some of our core responsibilities and mandate as Iora. Firstly, I think we need to relook the commitment from member states towards this organization. I don't think we are where we should be. The attendance of our Council of Ministers meeting is a clear reflection on how seriously we as member states take this organization. It is rare for us to have at least 50% attendance at full ministerial level at our Council of Ministers meeting. Now, after almost 3 decades, we have to ask ourselves, why is this the case? And what can be done to ensure that we get the necessary focus and interest from our principals in this organization. We need to relook the working mechanisms of Iora, both at the level of the senior officials as well as the COM. We need to relook the structure of the Secretariat. I want to congratulate Ambassador Ranjan for being appointed as new Secretary General, and I think we are fortunate once again, like we had when Ambassador Bhagirat was the Secretary General and India took over the chairship. Once again, we have the same synergy with the Secretary General from India and India taking over the chairship. This is an important, I think, an important development where you have the incoming chair and also the Secretary General from that country. Now, I believe there are certain countries that have to play a greater role in terms of agenda setting and directing this organization. And we can't expect all 23 countries to work at the same speed, because we come from different levels of development and our capacities differ vastly from the SIDS, from the LDCs, as well as middle income countries and the developed countries that are part of Iora. So we have to see how some of the key countries can play a pull factor in accelerating the development of Iora, and that we truly are the apex organization of the Indian Ocean. We refer to ourselves as the apex organization, but I'm not quite sure that we are. And this has to be reflected in the impact we make within our region and respectively the impact we have globally as the apex organization of the Indian Ocean. When we reset the organization post the India, starting from the India chairship, followed by Australia, Indonesia, South Africa, and the others, we re-examined our core priority areas and defined the 6 priority areas, the two cross-cutting areas, as well as recently also brought climate change as a key focus, and the blue economy working group. Now, I still think we need to go back and revisit this. Are all of these priorities as relevant today as they were 10, 15 years ago when we conceived them and agreed upon them? The world has changed dramatically this past decade or so, and we need to perhaps relook with a magnifying glass the relevance of all of our priority areas and see if it doesn't need further adjustments in terms of the realities we face within the geopolitical, economic context, security context of the Indian Ocean. We need a sober assessment on the performance of our working groups, on the relevance of our specialized agencies, and increasingly we also agreed on the Iora Development Initiative. Do we really want to become a developmental agency? Do we have the capacity for it? These are questions I raised when we decided to adopt the Development Initiative. But these are issues that we need to relook at, and I believe this workshop can be the starting point and I believe we can be of assistance as India prepares to take the chairship. I don't think we have to have a template of business as usual. This organization needs a deep reflection in terms of where we are and where we want to go and where do we see ourselves as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the organization and chart the next decade or two. As we celebrate 3 decades of existence, where will this organization be in 2050? What impact it will be and what value add will it have? How can we address some of the common challenges nearly all of us have within our respective countries and within the Indian Ocean region as a whole? Some of the security challenges that are starting to manifest itself in terms of major power contestation within our ocean space has serious implications for all of us. And I think these are some of the deeper questions that Iora should have embedded within its agenda and see how we can work together. The dialogue partners, we have dynamic dialogue partners. In fact, there's greater commitment from a number of dialogue partners to this organization than many of our member states. And this has to be relooked at. We have a secretariat that is under-resourced. We need to see, if we want to be a serious organization, our commitment to resourcing the secretariat and to ensure that we have the experts with the necessary skills and capacity to direct the various focus areas in the correct direction. We need to relook the secondment policy and the experts that we as countries, voluntary countries that send out experts to the Secretariat, how we can reinforce the capacity. These are a number of the areas that I have raised repeatedly that I believe we need to reflect on and perhaps come out with a brief after this conference that can guide us. And it could be a discussion document that we could give to the incoming chair and the current chair, Sri Lanka, and maybe plan for a larger workshop prior to India taking the chair. I think it would be important for India to share with us their vision and their views of what they are planning for the period of their tenure as chair. But I believe that India taking the chair provides us an important and strategic opportunity to turn this organization around and have it focused in a more strategic way and playing a more strategic role. The Indian Ocean is our ocean, and increasingly we have to show leadership. And I believe that India should be one of the key countries guiding this organization together with other important countries from the region, together with the membership as a whole, and working with our dialogue partners, but ensuring that leadership of this organization is vested in the member states. And I hope that this conference will start pointing us in a direction we need to draw up a template in bringing this organization to the fore. I believe we have made a good start these past 28 years. It's been a good journey, but much more needs to be done, and I believe we need to become a bit more focused. Let me leave it here. I know we are pressed for time, but I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And being located here in New Delhi, I would like to work closely with Kurukshetra University and the center there, and our colleagues at MEA as they prepare for the chairship of India. And rest assured, from the side of South Africa, you have our full support. But thank you for having me, and I wish you well in your deliberations this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Anil Suklal, for your encouraging and inspiring words. We truly appreciate your words. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Pragya Pandey, a distinguished research fellow at the Indian Council of World Affairs. Dr. Pandey brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to her research, contributing significantly and understanding global affairs. Please welcome ma'am. Welcome ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, madam, we are able to hear you. You may please start.
Ma'am, please join and speak within 5 minutes only.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Pragya, good morning. We are able to hear you. You may please start.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. After the slight delay, now I will basically start with my brief remarks, which I've been asked to deliver at the conference. First of all, a very good morning to all of you present here. His Excellency Professor Anil Suklal, High Commissioner of Republic of South Africa to India, Ms. Paramita Tripathi, Joint Secretary, IP Division, Ministry of External Affairs, Professor Somnath, Vice Chancellor, Kurukshetra University, and Professor Atri, and all the distinguished guests and speakers. It is my pleasure and honor to speak here today at this very important conference, and I must congratulate the organizers for having this national conference, one-day national conference on this very important theme, India and Iora Pathways Ahead. So before moving into the theme of the conference, I would just like to speak a little about the institution which I am representing today here, the Indian Council of World Affairs, especially for those in the audience who have not interacted with the Council before. The ICWA, established in 1943 by a group of eminent public intellectuals with the principal objective to create Indian perspective on international relations. The institution, by an Act of Parliament in 2001, is an institution of national importance. Vice President of India is the President of the Council, and External Affairs Minister of India is the Vice President of the Council. The Council conducts policy research through in-house faculties as well as through external experts, and we have different activities, intellectual activities like conferences, seminars, discussions, and also dialogues with other MOU partners. And we come out with a range of publications, like India Quarterly Journal is there, and then other papers are there on the web. So one of the most important initiative of the ICWA has been the outreach to institutions and universities across the country, and it is under this scheme that today we are collaborating with the Kurukshetra University for this conference. And I'm very happy with this, that this collaboration is taking place, and I'm very sure it will be very, very fruitful. Since today we are going to discuss issues, maritime related issues, I must also say that ICWA has made a conscious effort to focus on issues related to maritime security, and there has been a lot of focus on strategic affairs in the Indian Ocean and the wider Indo-Pacific region in our research and outreach activities. Today we are discussing one of the most crucial topics of the contemporary times, and I'm looking forward to hear the views of all the eminent experts who have gathered here today. Now coming to the theme of the conference, Iora and India, the pathways ahead. Iora, an important, it's an important multilateral platform in the Indian Ocean region for sustaining a dynamic multilateralism for a stable and secure regional order in the Indian Ocean and also in the wider Indo-Pacific region. Iora has completed more than 25 years of its formation. Recently, 25th anniversary of Iora was celebrated in 2022. It's a prominent regional organization which covers, sort of connects the three continents, Asia, Africa and Australia, and it binds diverse set of countries in the Indian Ocean region in the sense of regional maritime community and a shared maritime space. So that is a very important role that Iora plays here. It's an important, it has important role in institutionalizing engagements and strengthening regional cooperation and sustainable development within the Indian Ocean community. Looking at the Indian Ocean, there is a significant strategic and economic value that the ocean has as one of the most busiest trade corridor in the world and with some of the most crucial sea lanes of communications for global commerce, most significantly being the Malacca Strait on the east and the Hormuz Strait on the western side. Given the growing significance of the Indo-Pacific, the Indian Ocean has to be seen from a broader lens of the Indo-Pacific region. India has been one of the founding members of Iora, and this year India will be taking over as the chair of the Iora later this year. And earlier during India's chairship from 2011 to 13, the Iora was sort of reinvigorated and with the current name of Iora. And the issue of maritime security was sort of brought into the forefront as one of the Iora's 6 priority agendas, which were listed after the reinvigoration of Iora. And it was at the last Council of Ministers meeting in November 2022 that Iora's Indo-Pacific outlook, Iora's outlook on Indo-Pacific was announced and was sort of adopted. The outlook emphasizes on cooperation among the member states and dialogue partners, not just in the 6 priority areas and 2 cross-cutting areas, but also in any other area which are common.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Please wind up.
Yeah, which are of common interest to the countries in the region. So I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes more and I'll wind up quickly. So therefore, we can say that Iora's agenda is quite comprehensive and it seeks to address a broad range of issues for collective growth and balanced development. And India believes, as a resident nation, India is a major stakeholder in the Indian Ocean region and the wider Indo-Pacific. And India's engagement with the littorals of the Indian Ocean is very, very deep. And if we look at it, the convergences between Iora's Indo-Pacific outlook, and there are certain elements which are common in India's own flagship initiative of Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. So we can find convergences and commonalities between these 2 initiatives, and we can say that India's partnership with Iora is naturally collaborative in nature. So towards the end, I would just like to say that we are meeting at a time when we are seeing intense geopolitical churning happening in the world. And the Indian Ocean region is not only impacted by the challenges within the region, but is also sort of experiencing many spillover effects of the other situations which are taking place in the world, like the Russia-Ukraine crisis, what is happening in Israel and Gaza. So those situations also have their implications for the region, and under these circumstances, therefore, regional and multilateral cooperation is very, very significant. And Iora as an institution drives the regional multilateral cooperation, and its Indo-Pacific outlook is a step in right direction. So with this, I will stop here and thank you once again for having me at the conference, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thoughtful and uplifting words. Now I invite Professor Somnath Sachdeva, who has been serving as the Vice Chancellor of Kurukshetra University since November 2020.
सबको नमस्कार. Honorable dignitaries and dear students, I am delighted and feel proud to welcome you all on the occasion of this one-day national conference on India and Iora, Pathways Ahead. I would like to extend a very special welcome to our chief guest, Ms. Paramita Tripathi, Honorable Joint Secretary, Indo-Pacific Region, and our other distinguished guests, including His Excellency Professor Anil Shukla, High Commissioner of South Africa to India, Ambassador Sanjay Panda, Vice Admiral Pradeep Chauhan, Dr. Pragya Pandey, representing ICW at New Delhi, Ambassador Rajiv Bhatia, Ambassador Anup Modgil, Vice Admiral A.K. Chawla, Professor S.K. Mohanty from RIS, Professor Sanjay Chaturvedi, Vice President South Asian University, and Dr. Imadul Islam, OPRI Japan, who have joined us online and offline. So welcome you all to this occasion. Today's conference is a significant milestone in our efforts to promote dialogue, understanding and cooperation among member states of Indian Ocean Rim Association. India's engagement with the Indian Ocean Rim Association is a key aspect of our foreign policy, and we are committed to strengthening our ties with the region. This conference provides a platform for experts, policymakers and stakeholders to share their insights, experiences and perspectives on the opportunities and challenges facing the Indian Ocean region. Over the next few hours, we will engage in thought-provoking discussions, debates and presentations on various themes related to India's engagement with Iora. We will explore pathways for cooperation, collaboration and mutual benefits, and we will identify areas where we can work together to address the common challenges. As the Vice Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, I am proud to say that our university is committed to promoting excellence in research and outreach programs of Iora. We are in the process of joining the membership of Indian Ocean University Network (Iora) before 30th June 2025 by contributing annual membership fee. The center has been undertaking studies on the subjects related to Iora under the supervision of Professor V.N. Atri, former Chair Indian Ocean Studies, Iora Republic of Mauritius. There are 6 priority areas and 2 cross-cutting focus areas of Iora adopted in 2011 and 2013, and our university is working on these subjects under the guidance of our Director Professor V.N. Atri. Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra has set up this International Center for Indo-Pacific Studies in April 2022, which is being headed presently as director by Professor Atri. He joined this center in 2022, and since then the center has successfully organized 3 international conferences. One was in September 2022, the second was in October 2023, and the third was in October 2024, in which more than 200 delegates from abroad and India participated. We are extremely thankful to Madam Paramita Tripathi ji from Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, New Delhi, for providing the financial assistance for the 3rd International Conference on Indo-Pacific. And we hope for receiving the financial support for the 4th International Conference also, which is going to be held in November 2025 on the theme Blue Economy in Indian Ocean Region, sharing practices and exploring mechanisms of implementation. The director of our center is preparing a research project highlighting the areas of research in Indo-Pacific and Iora. The center's priority is to undertake the research on the 7 pillars of Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiation as well as other 4 pillars of Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, and integrating the Iora's outlook on Indo-Pacific. In addition to this, the center is undertaking research on maritime connectivity, maritime security cooperation, free and open Indo-Pacific, cyber security and artificial intelligence, machine learning, and various aspects related to agriculture in the country, and their impacts on creating employment opportunities in India. The director of the center is preparing a comprehensive research program on Indo-Pacific for financial support from the Indo-Pacific Division, Ministry of External Affairs, which will be submitted by the university for kind consideration of the ministry. We are thankful to Madam Parmita Tripathi ji, Joint Secretary Indo-Pacific, for her constructive feedback on the performance of our International Center of Indo-Pacific Studies during the last 32 months since its inception. We greatly appreciate her continued support and encouragement to the center. We are thankful to the Director General ICWA, New Delhi, for providing financial support for this today's national conference, and look forward to implementing the MOU between the two institutions by undertaking joint projects, workshops, and conferences. India's role in Iora has been significant in shaping its dynamic leadership over the last 25 years. India has contributed more than $2 million to Iora's special fund for the implementation of work projects. It has organized maximum Iora's events during the last 25 years, and now India is taking over as chair of Iora in October 2025 for a period of 2 years, and we expect that these events are going to grow by leap and bounds in the time to come. I am sure that this one-day conference on Iora and India, the pathways ahead, will come up with a set of recommendations for the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, New Delhi, and this will also take care of the, in addition to the areas that I mentioned, of the fact that the recent Chinese involvement in the Indian Ocean region, particularly through the Belt and Road Initiative, is a cause of concern, which is going to be also deliberated in this conference. And while giving the recommendations, this is also going to be taken care. Before I conclude, I would like to express my appreciation and thanks to the organizers of this conference, the International Center for Indo-Pacific Studies, and to all our distinguished guests, speakers, and participants. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of this conference, and we look forward to a day-long stimulating discussions and debates. Thank you very much. I would like to also inform that, as Professor Suklal pointed out, that we are going to have the anniversary on 7th of March, the Iora's anniversary. We celebrated this anniversary last year also. We planted trees and had the expert house on that day, and this year also we are going to celebrate this birthday as a big day. So thank you very much for your gracious presence on this occasion. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. We sincerely appreciate your uplifting words. Your thoughtful reflection have truly inspired us. Now, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Ramita Tripathi, Joint Secretary of Indo-Pacific and Oceania Divisions in the Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi. Prior to her current assignment, she is Joint Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs as the Deputy Chief Mission at the Embassy of India in Berlin from December 2017 to 2021. We are honored to have her with us today. Please welcome her. Please join me.
Namaskar. A very good morning to all gathered in Kurukshetra University today. I think there's an echo there. Will you please address it? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am, you are on mute. You are proper audible. General.
Okay, thank you. His Excellency Professor Shukla, High Commissioner of South Africa to India, Vice Chancellor Professor Somnath, Professor V.N. Atri, Director ICIPS, my senior colleagues, especially Ambassador Sanjay Panda, officials of and academics of Kurukshetra University, speakers and other distinguished guests. At the outset, let me congratulate Professor Somnath, the very dynamic Vice Chancellor of Kurukshetra University, and very ably assisted by Professor V. Mantri, Director ICIPS, for organizing this national conference on India and Iora pathways ahead. I wish I could attend the conference in person. Unfortunately, I am unable to do so. Hope I can be in Kurukshetra University next time. Distinguished participants and speakers, the Indian Ocean, as the third largest ocean in the world, is not only a significant body of water, but also a crucial economic and strategic corridor. It serves as a transit for global commerce, ensuring energy security and international stability. It is pivotal to the development and prosperity of the nations around it and beyond it. Against this backdrop, the Indian Ocean Rim Association for Regional Cooperation, IOR, was established in 1997 to serve as a platform for addressing shared challenges such as economic development, maritime security, marine resource management, and environment issues. I may sound a little repetitive, and today you may hear all this information over and over again, but I thought this is important to contextualize what I am going to say. So IOR was rechristened as the Indian Ocean Rim Association, the Iora, in 2013 during the 13th meeting of the Foreign Ministers. Over the past 28 years, we have made steady strides in achieving the objectives that were outlined for Iora. Currently, Iora brings together 23 member states and 12 dialogue partners with a shared objective to harness the immense potential that the region offers. India, being the founding member of Iora, has always taken leadership role in Iora's initiatives and in driving the agenda on key issues such as trade, maritime safety and security, blue economy, women's empowerment, among others. In alignment with India's neighborhood first policy and Sagar, security and growth for all in the region, we have consistently contributed to sustainable development and prosperity of the littoral nations in the Indian Ocean region. India's commitment to Iora is deeply rooted in the principle